Okay, last item, or almost the last item. Senate District Directors. This has taken up a majority of my time for the last month. And I asked that people just provide the information, and nobody did. And so and the reason I inquired about it is because people were asking me or telling me and giving me information that, hey, this wasn't done right and this wasn't done right and all this other stuff. So that's why I asked for it. Didn't have anything to do with nothing else other than people brought it to my attention and I felt I had to address it. So.
Mr. Chair, when did you request that information from me?
I believe that was on our first meeting, wasn't it?
I don't believe so. I think I saw some ramblings on social media, but I never would take that as a request for information.
No, right.
Yeah, I didn't receive any requests myself.
Oh, Jillian, wasn't that in one of our meetings? Didn't we talk about that in our first meeting?
No, we talked about normal.
Oh,
Can I make a motion that we have Bret formally request the information he wants from the Senate District Directors and then table this issue until next meeting? So we're 2 hours and 15 minutes in.
I think Tiffany has the information.
Yeah, I have it ready so we can put this issue to rest, but just for clarifications, Brett, you did threaten to remove those directors if they did not provide it. I think that was very much uncalled for, and that happened on multiple instances.
well, I thought I had asked for the information.
No, and Mr. Chair, I'd also like to know what the evidence was that it did something unconstitutionally.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I'd like to know what evidence you have that states that I did something unconstitutionally.
Well, I sent out information to everybody, all the members of the committee here about the
My case
Real quick,
specifically, what is there?
Rob, can you mute yourself, please?
Sorry about that.
so I
There's
sent
nothing
out.
in the April 3rd meeting minutes, Brett, about that.
Okay, all right.
And your emails
my
were
fault.
very, I don't know, intimidating and threatening.
Well,
And the other thing I noticed, there was one sent out and it had an addendum from John Ross that was a literal piece of garbage. I'm not going to be even looking at something like that. It just, words cannot just express how terrible a piece of information that was to send out.
okay. Well, I had the information on the appointments from the June 22 minutes. That appointments were made for, there was 4 different BPOUs or 4 different Senate districts in the June 22 minutes that was approved. And it wasn't according to how it's supposed to be done according to the Constitution.
Well, the one you sent out, it was done according to that. So I don't know what you were looking at.
Well, if you look at the 2022 minutes, it says, like in your case, you're in Ben's case, that Joy Orvis made a motion to have you guys as Senate District Directors. And that's not the process. That's not the process.
No, there's 2 different processes for it. They chose one. Other people want them to do it different, but that one was
What?
chosen that way. Pete is probably better to talk about that, but I wasn't a part of the vote, but I was a part of there when they were discussing it. So.
Go ahead, Daryl.
Brett, can I ask a question?
Daryl's got his hand up. Hold on.
Okay, so I want to question the motive behind this, because you had said that you were contacted by a lot of people said these weren't done correctly. These were done back in 2022. there's been 3 years for these individuals who requested this of you to come forward and request that of the committee and there's nothing. They were able to talk to their BPOU chairs. No BPOU chair came forward in those 3 years. So I'm questioning the timing and the motive behind this, because I think there's more to this story than what you're telling us.
Well, it's, what are you saying? I had the chairs that were the chairs in SD1 from 2022, with the exception of Roseau County, all came to me.
Well, why didn't it come to us for 3 years? They were okay with it.
I don't know.
Well, the problem with those chairs that you're talking about is they were at the time very much supporting an unendorsed candidate in a primary. So yeah, 3 years later, they're still upset about losing the endorsement and the primaries.
So,
They were not.
my question still is was the correct process followed?
Yes, it was.
The 2022, if you look at the 2022 Constitution and compare it with what happened, what's proven in the minutes, it's not correct.
Tiffany, can you present what you have?
Yeah, are we ready?
Sure.
So I put this document together because I think it would be easier for people to understand kind of what happened and how it went down. So in 2022, the bylaws,
Tiffany,
yeah,
can you present that way we can see it larger, please?
ooh, you might have to help me.
I'll put the lower right-hand corner next to the scaling. Lower right-hand corner bound down. There's a
Yeah.
little screen.
Yeah,
Click that
Yeah.
screen.
trying that and it's not
No, go to the left of that grid.
here.
Nope, down in the right-hand corner,
Yeah,
to the left of the plus minus, so to
There's
the
a little
left of the
screen there.
minus.
There you
Right
go.
there.
Click it.
slideshow
Click it.
Yep.
Yep. That's what you want.
right there. Ah, okay.
There you go.
Excuse the squiggles that I have written because when we were working on this for the next year, that's where I made the comment about if the position comes vacant. So I just made a note to myself. So as it reads in the 2022 bylaws, the Senate district, it was labeled Senate district conventions. So in the event that the Senate district director does not fulfill the obligation, and you guys can read that. So in the 2022 Constitution, we used vacancies to fill offices. So what we first had to do was to expand the definition of a vacancy, because as you can see in section 5 and A, a vacancy shall occur upon the death or resignation of an officer. Well, when we went through redistricting and after all that, we had 7 open Senate district directors that we needed to fill. So we needed to open up the definition of a vacancy, and then we used B to fill those vacancies. Okay, so here's where on June 2nd, 2022, amendment to the bylaws was presented. And basically, you can read it, but on the bottom last sentence, it says, in addition to those definitions of vacancy, as stated in the CD7 Constitution or bylaws, vacancy shall be interpreted to mean any instance in which a Senate district director office is empty, unfilled, or unoccupied for whatever reason, okay? So we had to do that. So for the record, for whatever reason, this amendment to the bylaws was not documented in the bylaws. So we will have to, basically, it just expands the definition of a vacancy. So in the meeting minutes, you can see down there where Joy made a motion to appoint Ben Ruby, Rob Crow as SD1. Jason made, I believe that's Jason Kirkenwitz, made a motion to appoint Carlos SD5. And then Anita Runk made a motion to appoint Holly DeShane as SD12. And then Jim made a motion to appoint Greg Koberg as SD16.
Yeah, go back to the vacancies in office in the Constitution. Okay, section 5B, right? Executive committee officers. The officers, the Senate district directors are not officers.
Senate district directors are executive committee officers.
They're executive committee members. They're not officers.
Where do you find that in the Constitution? So
Composition in terms of section 1. Article 4 officers, section 1. Composition in terms of office, officers, the 7th district or party, chair, deputy chair, state party representative, treasurer, secretary, and vice chairs. That's who the officers are. So section Article 4 in the bylaws applies to Senate district directors.
That's not how I read it.
Well,
Excuse me, Mr. Busman, this is Pete Baliga. Can I mention something? And that is that to go back and to try to relitigate something that's 3 years old, I think is inappropriate. At some point, if people that have a concern or a complaint wait too long, then they basically have waived their complaint or waived their concern. There were numerous, probably 20 or 30 opportunities to raise an issue. But these people have been serving. They're going to come up for re-election, and certainly folks can run against them. I don't even know if they're still involved. But my point is that when you wait this long to raise an issue, you basically have waived the complaint. And so, you know,
I don't agree with that.
Well, you might not agree with it, but the thing is, too much time has gone by, and to try to go back and then tear this apart, well, what happens to all of the issues that they may have voted on, or the decisions that they made? Are we going to go piece those all apart? I think it's totally inappropriate. Anyway, just my opinion.
Peter, the other question is, the question I had was, why was mine done differently than other people's? In other words, Bret came down to our Senate district, had a vote, we had to sign a thing, he had to set up a meeting, and I'm told this is what the Constitution requires. But then I'm told, and I talked to an attorney that knew these rules, that said, no, that's been the case all along. So my question is, why was I handled differently than everyone else or other people?
I don't know why. Okay. I do not have an answer to that. I would have to go dig into it, and we'd have to go root through the minutes and try to find out.
No,
But one of the things is, as Tiffany has said, the Constitution has been amended. The bylaws have been amended. What the group was working under, those rules have changed over time. And to dig into this, it's almost as if there's a condemnation that there was some kind of subterfuge going on. And I can just tell you from where I sat, that was never the case.
That's not it at all. We have to decide as a group whether we're going to follow the Constitution and bylaws or not.
Well, we're going to follow them. But to go back and litigate something 3 years old is, I think, totally inappropriate. We don't do that.
All right. Lisa has her hand up.
Yes, I make a motion that we accept all the SD chairs as seated now until the next election.
We don't have that authority. We don't have that authority.
Okay, my hand's up. This is Katie. As I said in my email
we're
today,
going. I'm going in order. I'm going in order. Fred's next.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Two things. Noel, I'd like to address one thing that you mentioned about why was it different from you or for you. It wasn't. When I came on board at the 7th district level back in 21, we had co-chairs, Pete and another individual
Brad?
who was bothered by his work. And I came in, I was asked to, would I be interested in being co-chair? I had to sit for an interview. I went down to they had an in-house meeting at Thumper Pond. And I had to sit before the entire committee and stand for questions and was voted on at that point. I don't think it was unanimous, although it was pretty close. But anyway, then the next year, Pete and I got voted on at our endorsing convention. And here we are. The second point, Mr. Chair, that I'd like to point out in the Constitution, you say, where does the authority come from? It goes back to, and this is in 2022 Constitution, Article 6, Section 2, composition. And this is the same thing I think that's floated over until 25. Senate districts and their directors exist in the 7th Congressional District by the authority expressed herein by the 7th Congressional District in its Constitution and bylaws. And said Senate districts and their directors are totally and completely subject to the oversight of the 7th Congressional District Executive Committee and the VPOU chairs of such Senate district. At the point that we're talking about here back in 22 with SD1, SD9, whatever they are, there's 4 of them, I guess, that were just up on the screen. Those individuals were asked to come forward or they volunteered to come forward. They were voted on by the entire committee. They passed. They've been there for 3 years. And like Pete had mentioned, for us to, at this point in time, try to negate that would mean that you'd have to go back and change every single monthly meeting that's happened. That's over 30 meetings, 40 meetings since then. That's insane. It just doesn't make any sense. I would agree with Lisa Murphy that I think we should put this issue to rest. We take a vote on it tonight and it's done. Thank you.
Okay, let me finish, you know, that Fred, that paragraph that you read, you left off a part there. You said completely subject to the oversight of the 7th Congressional Executive Committee and the BPOU chairs of such Senate district. And those BPOU chairs were never consulted.
Those BPOU chairs were consulted insofar as far as I know, they had the feedback from the chairs or from the executive board that were reported back to them on a monthly basis. Now, whether they chose to act on that or not is something else. But you're making it sound like they were in the dark, floating around looking for a candle to help them in the light. That isn't the fact. That isn't true.
Well, that's what the BPOU chairs up there are telling me.
Well, the BPOU chairs in 22, in my SD4 area, the one that is currently in Clay County was still there. He was
I'm not questioning 4, Fred. I'm not questioning 4 at all.
Okay.
Well, you did in one of your emails, Brett.
Well, that was what was in the minutes. It said 1, 4, I think 12 and 16 were the 4 that were in there. But in one of my emails, I said that I'm not concerned about 4 because it's in their minutes.
Yes,
and I verified it, with Steve Hirschberger, the chair from Becker County. Yeah. So to me, that's good.
Yeah,
I'm not questioning that at all. So that was, you know. So the BPOU, the Senate district directors are not officers. So the
Brett,
bylaws.
Clarification, where did you get that they're not officers?
I just read it to you.
I know you went too fast. I'm sorry. I couldn't follow you.
Okay, it's in the 2022 Constitution.
Okay,
Article 4 officers, the very first, section 1, it says who the officers are.
okay, so the officers, Article 5 is executive committee.
Yeah.
Composition of the executive committee.
Right, yeah,
Number 1
right,
consists of district officers and Senate
and,
district directors.
and. So it makes a distinction between district officers and Senate district directors. It makes a distinction. Otherwise, it would just say that. That's the distinction.
So they make up the executive committee.
Yeah. So, but they're not officers.
I guess I'm not following you.
Well, the
Article
officer-
6 doesn't say anything about officers. Article 6, Section 2, composition of the Senate District Organization.
6, section 2.
Yeah. This is in the 22.
Yep, I'm looking at it.
Yep. Senate districts and their directors exist in the 7th Congressional District by the authority expressed herein by the 7th Congressional District and its Constitution and bylaws. And said Senate districts and their directors are totally and completely subject to the oversight of the 7th Congressional District Executive Committee and the BPOU chairs of such Senate district. The 7th Congressional District Executive Committee consists of the officers and also the Senate directors.
Right, but there's a distinction between officers and directors.
You are making one. We don't think there is a distinction.
Not as far as what you're talking about here. There is in another part of the Constitution where it specifically talks about the removal or the vacancies in office.
Right.
There.
So it makes a distinction. It makes a distinction between the officers and the Senate district directors.
That's right.
And
you're absolutely correct.
And that's where the bylaws rule as far when it comes to Senate district directors.
But the bylaws in the Constitution are totally separate, and if there's a conflict, the Constitution rules.
I know that, but there's no conflict.
Excuse me, what is the purpose of this? Are you trying to remove somebody today?
No, we need to put this to rest.
Well, you're not putting it.
Yes, he's trying to remove me, Peter. He's trying to remove me.
It's
and
not.
That's the
It's
case,
not about.
Case,
it's not
people
about
need,
that.
People need to have notice, and they need to have specifically what you are alleging, so that they have the opportunity to reply.
I've had my hand up for a while. I just want to ask one quick question, maybe to help with this. Are we? Correct me if I'm not right. If I'm wrong here, Chair. But are you not? Because you didn't get the opportunity to clarify and get the paperwork through that was not apparently submitted in an email or whatever had happened. Is that not the idea here? Is that to give all of the 4 in question, to put it to rest in order to have all of those people say, hey, yeah, here, this is where my BPOU chairs did in fact vote us in, and this is where, yeah, we're part of the committee. That's it. Is that not the essence of what we're trying to accomplish?
That would put this to bed.
Right. So
Brett,
because there was not
because
that did not happen in the earlier meeting, right? I think that's where we're probably struggling, is that if we just give them give these people a notice to have that information.
Okay. Yep.
Right.
I'm good with that.
All right.
Jim's next according to my list here. Jim is next, and then Jillian.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was at that June meeting. The bylaws were at that convention, and I wish the secretary would have been more complete with her notes. It was a unanimous decision to accept the bylaw changes at that meeting. It was a unanimous decision by the board to accept all those people. So, I mean, the board's already ruled on this.
But the Senate district, the BPOU chairs did not have any say in that.
May I speak? Because I'm one of the people. I talked to my Senate district director yesterday. He is back behind me 100%. He will call you if you need to. He will have minutes if you want.
Yeah. That's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm asking for.
Well, but you
I
haven't
don't
ever
have-
really officially asked for that, Brett, yet.
Okay,
so
yes, and Nathan
please
pointed that
officially
out.
ask for it.
Nathan pointed that out. So, yes.
I don't know.
So I'm asking for it right now. When do you guys think you can get me that information?
Mr. Chair, I would like to speak.
Heidi has her hand up. She's next.
You told me I was after Jim when you let
Right,
Jim
you're-
speak.
Sorry, you're right.
Are you not implying malicious intent here? Like, I mean, we have 3 years of meeting minutes of these people voting as part of this organization. And like, I quite frankly, 45 days into this or whatever it is, you just imply intent. You seem to
Sorry,
forget that
you
we're
cut out. You cut out.
malicious intent. You constantly imply that. We are volunteers. We do make mistakes. I mean, clearly somebody didn't put that in the bylaws and should have. Your words being officer and Senate district director. Just who is it that's bringing this up? Who's got the problem? Let's get it out there. I'm tired of this.
Somebody raised the issue. So it's a valid
Who?
complaint and I'm addressing it. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it
think it
does.
does.
Does to
At this
me.
point, after
The
all
Senate,
the email.
all the BPOU chairs at the time.
I was a
Better.
BPOU chair. I got Greg and Jeff Niedenthal. Andy Carlson's on. He was the BPOU chair. Last email that you sent, you changed the directors every time you send an email. Last time 16 was in it. That's why Greg Kuhlberg's asking.
Well, it's whatever was in the June 2022 minutes. Those are I don't remember them off the top of my head.
And so what in there implies that we didn't get permission from the BPOUs?
Well, there's no record of it. The minutes say that that was a nomination. Somebody nominated you at the meeting. That's
What
not the way
meeting?
it's supposed to be. At the June 2nd meeting or the June 2022 meeting, the CD7 meeting. That's where.
So
the
you're taking that
nomination-
to mean that I didn't talk to the BPOUs or that we didn't go through anything else? And we just had earlier a vote on Noel, even though he's been through his BPOU.
No. Look,
It was Brett, it was
ST10 is the only county that is in CD7 is Morrison. That's it. So the
That's
meeting
right.
consisted of Noel and myself, the BPOU chair that lives in 7, and myself. That's it. And so there should have been a meeting convened, Greg, with all of the chairs in your SD and Craig. That's what should have happened. And there should be a record of that.
Well,
That's what the bylaws say is the process.
it doesn't say there has to be a record, but
Well, how do you
you're
prove it?
implying that it didn't happen.
I'm saying there's no proof. Just provide me the proof.
Well, why don't
That's
you
all.
ask the BPOU chairs instead of threatening me with if I don't resign quietly?
I'm not threatening you. I'm just asking you to produce information saying that you're elected or appointed.
Again, this is Pete. I'm sorry. I cannot figure out how to raise my hand on this thing. But I would just suggest that it is totally inappropriate for you to show up 3 years after the fact and demand proof and set yourself up as judge, jury, and potential executioner. That is totally inappropriate for your office.
That's not even the intent.
But that's what you're doing.
Oh, Peter, it's probably my fault because I asked why mine was treated differently when mine was done by the Constitution. And I just had a question over why the difference in handling. So it was probably me that raised the issue.
It's the
No,
same-
you were not treated any differently than I was. Our 5 BPOU chairs voted on me. They notified Craig that I was the representative, and then the board voted on me. So I don't know how you were treated differently than I was. I was treated exactly
Absolutely.
that way.
Okay.
I would
Okay.
add the BPOU chairs can handle this by a phone. They could have handled this by a phone call to Craig. Craig could have called them and said, "What do you think?" And they go, "Yes, thumbs up," and that's it.
Amen.
There has to convene a meeting. A meeting
No, you
has to be
don't.
convened.
No, you
It
don't.
says, yes, it says that.
All
Did
they
it
had
say
to do
that
was
in
approve it.
22?
A phone call is a meeting. We're on a meeting right now. And we're all
The
remote. A
7th
phone call is
Congressional
a
District
meeting.
Chair is authorized to convene a meeting with the BPOU chairs in the Senate District.
And
Mr.
That's
Chair,
what the
I know
It
I'm
bylaws
doesn't
not
mean he
say.
being,
has to.
If you have one chair, okay, then he can make a phone call. He doesn't have to drive up there to do it.
Phone call or email. That's what happened.
What's that?
They had a phone call or email. Brett, do you think these people just dropped out of thin air and appeared on as a nominee for a Senate District Director?
I don't know.
Years later,
I
they're
have no
still
idea.
here?
I have no
So-
idea how it came about. So let's just leave those 2022s alone for a minute. Let's go to 2025, March of 2025, when Craig sent an email to all the BPOU chairs except Douglas County. So all the BPOU chairs were not involved in that meeting. And I have an email from Dan saying that he didn't know anything about it and did not participate in any meeting. So what about that one?
Well, I have one comment if I can. I guess, I don't know if, I didn't see any email. I don't know if there's human error involved or whatever, but I believe the vote count for that district is hugely out of tail. And I think that one county was like about 10 or 15% of the vote. So even if they said
What
no,
do you mean?
85% said yes, so.
Where does it say that it goes a ratio? Where does it say that?
It's in the bylaws.
Where? Show me.
I will just settle your panties here.
Yeah, I want to talk about respecting people and you want Brett to respect it, but there's a lot of other talk going on. I'm sorry. I just have to say something. This is ridiculous. Like, if you want to be respected, then be respectful yourself.
Article 4, Section 3, last sentence.
Yep. Delegate ratio of each BPOU. So
Section 3.
in that Senate district, Grant County, after the adjustments, had 5.3%. Traverse had 1.7. Wilkin had 6.2.
Wait.
Douglas-
What's Article 4, Section what?
Section 3, last sentence.
The current Senate District Director and current BPOU chairs of the Senate District, either in whole or in part of their appointed representative, will compromise the committee.
Are you looking at the
Section
bylaws or
3.
the Constitution?
I'm looking at the bylaws.
Okay, the bylaws, Article 4, Section 3 begins with Senate District vacancy.
No.
Yeah.
2023?
Yes.
2025.
Oh,
You
2025.
were talking about 25.
I was talking
Yeah, but it
20.
happened before it. 2023 is the governing document for that appointment.
Yeah, it's in there.
Show
It
me.
may be a different. Well, you have to look, Brett, under vacancy. What does it say?
I know what it says.
Article 4, Section 1, last sentence.
Delegate ratio of each BPOU. Okay, would you like to hear the ratios now?
No, I don't need to know the ratios. I know that the Douglas County chair was not part of that meeting, so it's null. It's a nullity.
8.9%.
He was not included. It says all the chairs will be included.
And was there anything that says what happens if you don't? Then it's a directory statute, which means it's nothing, it's a not to do about nothing unless somebody raises a huge stink about it, unless something was done unfairly, in which it wasn't. They wouldn't have mattered. It's unfortunate, but it wouldn't have mattered in the overall vote because of the ratio. That's
Look,
what I'm trying to say.
That doesn't matter. It clearly says that all the BPOU chairs have to participate.
They were already seated and accepted by this body under an interpretation of the Constitution, which you may not agree with. And quite frankly, I don't disagree with you. I think it should be more strongly worded, but that's how this body interpreted it. And we accepted that delegate. Therefore, they're here. Therefore, you need to remove them under the Constitution. You need to have one of those three factors to remove executive committee member. Because whether they're a director or an officer, they're still a executive committee member. And we need to have 2/3 under one of those three reasons, and none of them fit, which means they stay. And this is a waste of our time. And that's why I'm getting really pissed about this. Let's knock it off and move on.
I make my motion again to accept the directors as they
I
are.
second it. Now we discuss the vote and we make a vote on the motion, Brett, now.
I'll second that.
Don't, let's not be disrespectful now.
You're joking.
Unfortunately, you're being disrespectful of the past actions of this committee over the last 3
Correct.
years.
We have a motion as second on the floor. Discussion.
Call the question.
Second.
It's seconded 3 times.
Yep.
Okay, we'll vote on the motion to call the question. Right? Is that the first one?
Yep.
Who seconded, called a question?
Matt did.
Matt, thank you.
Question?
So the question, we're calling it, we can do a vote to call the question, right?
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
Very good.
No.
Please repeat the motion so that everybody's aware of what exactly the motion is. Thank you.
Call the question.
We read the question.
Call the question.
We're ending debate. That's what you're voting on.
Right.
Yes.
Voting on ending
discussion.
debate, correct, yes.
I'm a
Thank
no.
you.
Tiffany?
Yes.
Nathan?
No.
Pam?
Yes. Just awful.
Joanne?
Yes.
Heidi?
I am abstaining. I have no 2022 Constitution in front of me. I have no facts. I am not voting on this.
Okay, Steve?
I'm same as Heidi.
Katie? Katie?
Sorry. I'll abstain.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Matt.
Aye.
Lisa Murphy?
Yes.
Lisa Tilney?
No.
All right, Rob? Rob Crow?
Yes. Yes.
Fred?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
Amanda?
Yes.
Noel?
No.
Holly?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Who?
Greg's a yes. I didn't hear you, but
Daryl's a yes.
And then?
Yes.
Okay.
you're muted.
Yeah, I think you're on mute, Brett.
No, he's just not talking right now.
No, I was counting. What did you come up with, Jillian? Jillian, what was it? Total?
14 yes, 14 yes, 4 no, 3 abstain.
Okay. All right, so we call the question. And that passed.
Yes.
So
So now the motion is
Motion is,
To-
if would be restate it, please.
Oh, the
Lisa?
motion is to accept the chair, the SD directors as now seated. Till the rest of their term.
that's the motion.
and Matt seconded it,
We're ready to vote, right?
and we
Yep.
ended discussion, so it's a vote.
Okay. Tiffany,
Yes.
Nathan,
Oh, man.
Nathan?
Yeah, I'm gonna go, yeah, at this point, no.
Hey, we didn't do it. You kept telling me to leave.
Hey,
I think
hey, Tim.
somebody's
And you
talking.
asked-
Yes.
Somebody's, okay.
Brett, how did you vote? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
No.
Okay, Nate, what were you?
I
Nate was a
no.
no.
Yep, I was a no.
Tim was a yes. Joanne,
Yes.
Heidi,
Abstain again. I have not enough facts. I don't have a 2022 constitution in front of me, so I have nothing to base this
Yep.
on.
okay, Steve,
I'm also abstaining, partly due to facts, partly due to, I think I'm gonna abstain from any vote moving forward that we're just bickering back and forth and not getting anything worthwhile done. I'm tired of this.
Quit.
Are you saying me?
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
What?
Brett, you're really breaking up. We can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't understand what you're saying.
He's saying Matt.
Matt,
Yes.
Lisa Murphy,
Yes.
Lisa Tilney,
No.
Rob Crow,
Yes.
Fred,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Amanda,
Yes.
Noel,
No.
Holly,
Yes. Did you call Tiffany? I didn't hear Tiffany being called.
yeah, she was number 2.
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Daryl's a yes.
Brandon,
Yes.
okay. Do you have the vote total, Joanne? Joanne, do you have the vote total?
Yep, sorry, I just can't do math in my head that fast, Brett.
Nope, no
14
worries.
yes. 14 yes, 5 no, 2 abstain. Motion carries.
Motion carried. Okay.